When I was in 6th grade, I had the new teacher at school, and she was just fresh out of grad school. She was literally 22 years old. She was really nice, but she kind of just had no idea what she was doing in the classroom. And the whole year, it was just kind of like a roller coaster of up and down emotions. Sometimes she'd get so stressed out and just start crying in the middle of class and would be like, oh my God, I'm just like so stressed. You guys are just awful. And of course, everyone in my class kind of picked up on the fact that she had like no idea what she was doing. So they all just made it worse for her by like thinking they could do whatever they wanted. And that just made her cry more. And everything just got so stressful. And there was just really no structure in the class. So one day we were in the classroom and we were studying ancient Greece. And suddenly, I just saw her face go completely white. And she was looking at the clock. So me and all the other kids in the class just looked up at the clock too. But instead of it saying the time, it said bell. And I later found out that bell was the code word for a real lockdown. But I didn't know that yet. So my classmates and I just watched as she scrambled to lock the door, close the blinds, and then she instructed us to hide in the corner of the room. And then she just says, "Stay quiet, we're in a lockdown." And she was in tears at this point. She was shaking and she was curled up in the corner behind her desk. This was the moment when I realized this wasn't a lockdown drill. This was an actual lockdown. And I was freaked out. I just straight up asked her, "Are we gonna die?" And she looked at me and as gravely as possible, she said, "I don't know." And that literally just sent the whole class into tears. Some kids were even trying to jump out the window. My teacher was screaming at them that if there's someone in this building, there could be more people outside waiting to get you. I was just freaked out. The whole time, I was literally just thinking about dying. It's so morbid, but I was. And I was thinking about like what I hadn't done in my life yet and what more I had to do. And I was basically thinking of my last seconds. And then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door and we all just like shot up. We thought this was the intruder. First of all, why would the intruder knock on the door? We all just stay there and we don't know what to do, even my teacher. And then there's another knock on the door and my teacher gets up and she goes to the door and it's another teacher. It's the teacher next door. The teacher next door asks what we're doing. And then my teacher's like, "What? Isn't there a lockdown?" The teacher next door goes, "No, they were just fixing the clock and that message came on." So then we all kind of got up from the corner. We were like, wait, there was no lockdown? Then I looked into the hallway and then everything was just normal. Kids were in class, they were laughing, they were walking up and down the hall, doing their homework. There was literally no lockdown. The only class in lockdown was our class. Since that day, I've experienced a lot more lockdowns. They're really upsetting and scary, and I just wish it wasn't a reality of the world we live in.
Oh my God, and we totally jumped off the cliff and had to swim all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way to the end. Oh.